गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. How do we approach the self today? How do we be the self today? See, we are searching for the self in the books, in the experiences, in relationships, in possessions, in memories, with expectation that one day I will get realized if I study the Upanishads, if I listen to satsangs. All this is necessary also. But one must be very clear as to what our destination is. And what is that destination? That destination is the pure consciousness, the self, which does not require any means, any support in order to know it, any reference in order to know it. It is self-established. It is self-knowing. What is self-knowing and self-established? The self. Who or what is that self? You are. So do you feel you are self-established? Do you feel or are you aware that you are self-knowing? There is. When you listen to the satsang, then you will know you are self-knowing. But our disposition in general is to know ourselves through some reference, like, who are you at this moment? I'm the one who is listening. I'm the listener. Now, listener is a reference to the listened to. Then you are meditator. Meditator is in reference to meditation. Do you have an identity which is independent of all references, all supports, all hookups? See, our scriptures say, do Svadhyaya every day. In general, the word Svadhyaya means study. But study of what? Someone yesterday said, Swa Adhyaya. Swa means self, Adhyaya means study yourself. And what are we studying? We are studying the world, we are studying the Bhagavad Mahapuran, we are studying the Upanishads, we are studying the Bhagavad Gita. But is all that study, is that all interaction with the world coming to rest? Is it bringing your attention to the self that you are? If that is not taking place and it's a mere addiction, I'm doing Swadhyaya. What are you doing Swadhyaya? I go to this class, I go to that satsang, I go read this book. Every day I study, I do this, I do that. Do. doing will not take you to the self. Efforts must lead to effortlessness. Just as you put efforts to go to bed, you put efforts to change into night clothes, you put efforts to lie in the bed, pull the duna over your head, you put effort to think of sleep, maybe even for a moment. For some, 2 hours they'll keep thinking till they get the sleep. Some people, one moment and then they are gone the next. But then that effort that you put towards sleep leads to effortless sleep. Have we, when we come to meditation or when we sit in meditation, this is only a sample on a Sunday. You must be, you are interested, which means you are doing every day and trying to fine tune yourself. So fine tuning will be, I put the efforts, I took shower, I got ready, I came here to the seat of meditation. Now I'm using the words to remind myself of myself. It's efforts. Are these efforts leading to effortless abidance in the self as the self that I already am? Swadhyaya must lead to that. In the end, everything must leave us. We must be self-established. We must be self-knowing. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, it is not said, raise yourself by studying the books. It is not said, raise yourself by going to Mahatmas. We must go. That's nothing. That's not the point. But if you put your realization, your happiness in the pocket of someone, they will use you. Nowhere in Bhagavad Gita it is said you have to go to the mountains, go to Himalayas, only then you can meditate. Then what is given there? Uddharet atmana atmanam natmanam avasadayet. Raise yourself by yourself, in yourself, and don't use natmanam. Don't use not self as a support to get to the self. And what is not self? Everything else other than the self. What comes in its category? Gods come in its category. Scriptures come in its category of not self. Experiences, the world, the body, the relationships, the possessions, all this comes, memories, all this comes in the category of not self. So initially we take the support only, just like a pole vaulter takes the support of the pole, runs for maybe 100, 200 feet, digs the pole in the ground, raises himself high so that he can cross the bar. When he sees that he has crossed the bar, he leaves the pole and he wins. So we also take the support of the scriptures, take the support of Nam Jap, take the support of thoughts, take the support of satsang. For what? To get addicted with it? No, I don't want to leave the pole. If the pole vaulter says, I will not leave the pole, what is going to happen to that person? He's going to crash down, and crash down on the wrong side where there is only ground. If he crosses the bar and falls on the other side, there is a mattress underneath and the fall is cushioned. But if he falls on, he wants to hold on to the pole where he dug it into the ground and he falls on that side, he will have a broken bone. And that's what is happening to us. Our breaking up is equal to frustration in meditation, anger, greed, jealousy, duality, multiplicity, differences, sense of otherness. All this is breaking up. That one consciousness that we are, because of our unintelligent approach, acceptance, it ends up in breaking up, as if it can never break up. But our experience in the relative is that it has broken up. How it has broken up? It has broken up as consciousness and matter. And that interaction between consciousness and matter then leads to the entire variety with which we get obsessed. And now we are trying to find a way back out of this obsession to that tranquil, pristine self or pure consciousness that we essentially are. So today, while we are sitting, whatever, we are not don't fight with the thoughts. Don't fight with anything that comes to your mind. Important thing is, who is knowing it? If the thought comes, oh, Swamiji said this. Oh, who knows Swamiji said this? I know. Who am I? Go back. Then suddenly the thought will come, oh, I've been sitting for half an hour. Oh, who knows that this thought came? I know. Who am I? Who is this I? Go back. Again and again, immediately jumping back into the self as the self. We haven't trained enough. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about myself. We have not trained enough. So initially we take the support only to give up the support. The support of the thought is only to shoot us back towards ourselves. It's like when you are looking in the mirror, you are looking at reflection, but your attention is on yourself. You work on yourself. So mind is the mirror. You are looking at the reflection. What is the reflection? The thought. When that thought appears, is your attention on the thought? Oh, lottery numbers came. I must quickly write it down. Or is your attention on the self? So we take the support of the mirror to look at the original that you are through the reflection. Same way, we have to develop this acumen that when we are on the seat of meditation, every thought is a reflection that is taking place in the mind. It tells us, where are we? It tells us what are our well, I don't want to go into the personality part. Very simply put, is the reflection, it is coming, it is the phenomena, it is happening, you can't help it. Don't go to clean the mirror. Don't go to clean the mirror. Our purpose is not to clean the mirror. Our purpose is to come back to the self. In that process of coming back to the self, the mirror will become completely clean. Because if you try to clean the mirror, which is purify the mind, initially we must do it. You are doing it here. We are talking about it at the moment. But while cleaning the mirror by Nam Jap or by Pranayam or by contemplation or by Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, eventually our obsession with it must go away. We must understand all this was only because I was thinking that I need to do something in order to get to the self. It was helpful till that time. But self is self-established. So let's sit together wherever we are. Close your eyes, back, neck, and head in a straight line. Eyes closed or open, doesn't matter. Fingers interlocked or on your laps. A happy disposition. No thoughts of past or future, coming into the utter present. And just be without initiating anything. If mind throws up something, some thought, our approach towards it should be not what fantastic information that is. Instead, who knows this thought came and went? Answer will be, I know. Be aware of this I. Take the position from where, even at this moment, while whatever I'm speaking, the words are coming to your mind, thoughts are coming to your mind. Take a position that you are not disturbed by these thoughts. Your observation is thoughts are coming and thoughts are going. Thoughts are coming, thoughts are going. Breath is coming, breath is going. Thoughts are coming, thoughts are going. But you are not coming and going. You are constant. Remain as that unchanging principle.